Thank you. So allow me to not using the portion here. And first of all, I would like to express my sincere appreciation to AA Singapore for having me here, as well as having a wonderful program today. So very good morning to everyone. So first of all, I would like to share what do we know about ourselves and the system that we are surrounding ourselves. It is not just in Malaysia, but it is also in every part of the world because we are all human. I will be the same guy with the same ability, whether it's in Singapore or in Malaysia. But one interesting a myth or phenomenon has been putting up, especially among Malaysian and Singapore, or Singaporean in a way. It's the magical bridges that we have connecting Malaysia and Singapore. We always say that. Do you know the stories or the interesting magic that the bridge can work? No. So whenever a Malaysian cross the bridge, come to Singapore, we can change immediately how we drive. Do you know that? And whenever a Singaporean cross that bridge to Malaysia, you also change. Okay, so some of us, I think probably for those frequent travel, crossing the bridges, both the bridge, we are potentially will see something or observe something that people change behavior of driving. So let's go today. First of all, before we go further on that, do you know what had killed us most? From the chart you can see here, a lot of people, during my time when I was young, we have very famous movies, series in fact, or it keep coming, with the Jaws. And of course recently we've had the Meg, I'm not sure some of you watch the movies or not, the Meg 1 and Meg 2. So as you can see, the shark is really at the very, very far away, killing 4 people in a year. And we are so scary, we are so worried about the Jaws, or the sharks. As you can see across it, well, unfortunately, human, as you can see there, is one of the animal that kill people. 475,000 a year killed by human. But if we go further, the number one is the car or the vehicles. Not necessarily the car, but the vehicles. So 1.3, in fact, recent figure 1.35 million a year. So what does this 1.35 to you and me? A lot of people will say, just the figures, right? So what else? And very interesting to note that 1.35 million a year, it means every single day, what is happening? 10 jumbo jet crash. You know the jumbo jet? Singapore Airlines, Malaysian Airlines, we lost one plane. And then that somehow we got shut down by missiles and another plane. But that is only 2. And we're talking about every day 10. And everybody killed on the plane. And did we hear anything? We got one MH370 until today. We still, in our deep heart, a lot of things, sad stories still carry on. But how about on the road? So this is something very serious for everyone traveling, whether commute, daily to work, and etc. Of course, holidays, nobody wants to jeopardize that with some bad experience, especially on the road. So the 3 factors, I think Mr. Tay has mentioned some of that, but there are 3 important factors we always surrounding it: the man, the human, of course, it has to be gender equivalence as well, whether man or woman. The vehicle, the road. These are the 3 main important things. But what are the things that surrounding us? First, we talk about human. Let's have a quick look. How many animals can you see? Can you just say it with one glance? And what sort of animal you probably still figure out what is that? So in fact, as you can see there, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Right? But why? What happened to us? What happened to my eye? But don't worry, this is what we call human limits, or that's something that we can do, or ability. That's the best we can. We are not some what they call some members to like Justice League, the Avengers. We are not, right? Unfortunately, we are not. So a lot of things that we have limits, and you and me are the same. For example, here, if you drive and read your text, and then suddenly you say, "Oh, I'm good. I can see and I can do additional tasks," as Mr. Tay has mentioned. It is not the case, because look at this. In order to know what is in there, you already take so much of our attention and time. So what if you are driving and read the text and and suddenly something come up? We have problem. The problem is that we are just human. And that's what we are. Then we have to work as we are human. We don't expect we can do better than human, because we are not superheroes or with superpowers. So in Malaysia, we do have some interesting guy. They say after vast training, very thorough training under the National Service or whatever, they can ride a motorbike, and text. And say, the rest cannot do. Never mind, they are not as good as me. I can do it because I'm doing every day. But is it true? No. No matter what you train, we are human. And that's what we are. Okay? Unless you've gone through some special program and end up a superhero, that's different stories. Now let's have a look here. Another thing that about human. What do you usually see? What do you see? As a first glance, and what you see, you're going to see the big sign, and that catch your eyes. That's a Petronas. For those come across the border, pump petrols, probably you know that's where you should go. But the more important thing is that there is a curve, and then there are some warning signs to tell you that please be careful, because there's a sharp curve there. Can you see that? But as a first glance, especially you do something else while driving or riding, you're going to miss that, because our eye will not catch that small part, but the bigger part. Of course, you don't blame Petronas. Their sign, everything they put there is to attract attention. Am I right? If they put the big Petronas sign there, but not attracting any attention, I think the guy doing the job is failing. So nobody's going to give him business. So now, how are we going to survive through that? So this is what we as human. Next one to show what's happening here. Just to share with you, this is the site, of course, improved after the most severe or the most tragic crash in Malaysia, in Genting. 37 people get killed, one crash. So this is towards the front end, there's a ravine. And then the bus hit the barrier, dropped down the ravine, and 37 people die. Okay, so now, what's wrong with this? This is after improvement. You just imagine before the improvement, the chevron signs, the yellow color things, not that obvious. So even after they improve it, what happened? What's going on? You please have a look about that part. You see all the trees. What happened to the left? You know that we call escape ramp. When you go down here, if your brake got problem, that's where you should end up with. That will help you to brake your vehicle. No matter it's a lorry, a bus, it has been designed for it. And of course, the car will work. So that is what we call the escape ramp. But it's not an access road. Huh? Not somewhere you can go. If you go further up there, you probably end up in another part of the world. No longer here. But I'm trying to say here is that as you look at it, how the tree being planted. You see the tree there? Unfortunately, there's no laser pointer here. So if it goes straight, and then if the mark of the chevron marks the yellow color and the sign, the directions, is not that clear, you probably see that will be a straight road. It go ahead. And who to blame? We to blame as human. Because our eye, how we process it by nature is that. So, that are the things that we should understand about ourselves. Of course, we have to let the road engineers know. Please not just follow the book. Sometimes you have to go beyond that because we deal with human. And then don't expect we just, there's a road sign, then we automatically will see it and look into that and work or react accordingly. Sometimes we just don't. And unfortunately, we are just human. So now, very, very important message as human, we all have limit. Don't overstress ourselves. Don't expect we can do much better than human. And usually we don't. And then I'm not sure how many superheroes in this world, but But most of the people, all the human I know, we haven't seen one. I haven't seen one. So don't lose the focus. Don't get distracted with something else. Stay with driving. One interesting point that I would like to share about the phone conversation, of course not in my slide. Why hands-free is more dangerous? While you use phone while driving, you talk, right? People say hands-free is okay. By the law, in Malaysia also, it's okay. It's not illegal. If you use your phone like this and drive, you got to get the tickets. But if you use hands-free, it's okay. And a lot of cars, modern cars especially, it link up with the system that you have, and then you're going to have hands-free. The problem here, hands-free, will end up you to have more serious discussion, longer conversations, and that distract you. And usually when you have not having hands-free, you worry about a ticket one, and you tell your boss, I'm driving now. Okay, I'll come back to you after I reach office. Done. But if you hands-free, your boss going to have a serious discussion about a serious matters while you're driving. That end up very, very dangerous. But of course, you may say, I can tell my boss, so I'm driving. Okay, done. 10 seconds, done. Okay, so that is equivalently, if you make that happen, yes, hands-free is much safer than using the phone. But unfortunately, we are all human. Yeah, and your boss knows you're hands-free. You're not going to get a ticket. So then, okay, let's discuss. Now, the next is about the speed. We as humans, have any one of us born so that we can run, maybe like 80 kilometers per hour? How fast can we run? Or we are born with that. How fast? 50 kilometers per hour? 30? 20? Okay. Now, have we ever had anyone walking, collide into another person, and now get killed? Why is not happening? Because our body, bone, flesh, all being designed to have that impact. Am I right? We were born to that, right? You walk, hit somebody. No, none of us will get up in hospital even though. We just say sorry and then, oh wow, finally we meet somebody nice. Okay. But we are not happy with the speed that we have or given. We want to do more. Do more, we go faster. When we go faster, it goes beyond our human limit. And then so-called bad things happen when we go beyond limit. So now, have a quick look on this. About the speed that we're talking about, the vehicle we have, the vehicle we design. What would be the speed that we're talking about here? The automotive engineers put in the effort. The road engineers put in effort. But that is the speed we're talking about if you want to avoid people get injured. So as you can see that the red color with the 20 there, or the 30, in fact, look at it, it's 30 kilometers per hour. One is miles per hour, the upper one is the kilometer per hour. So if your pedestrians, cyclists, and the car hit you, okay, so if you're with 30 kilometers per hour, you have 90% of the chance that you are not get killed. You're most likely going to end up calling people, scolding people. That's what we want, right? So bad thing could happen, but nobody should get killed or even seriously injured. And because we are all humans, sometimes as we see just now, we can't really see it, but it happens. But once it happens, nobody should get killed. Okay? Likewise, when you have a car hitting at your side, what sort of speed that engineers has put in to design so that it's safe for you? That's a chart to show. In fact, by the engineers, 48 km per hour is the UN regulation requirement to be safe. Meaning, say, somebody with 48 km per hour hit at your side, you should come up, scold people, not end up in hospitals even though. So that is what we're talking about. But if you go beyond that design speed, then sorry, because engine is not designed for you to have that high speed to have collisions. So then, please do not over the speed. And that's very, very important. A lot of us thought that we can do better. Okay, sorry. Yeah, this is very important. So now, for us to understand or having some conceptual idea about what is the speed means. You look at 64 km/h. 64 is where the RCN NCAP and many other NCAPs crash testing when you have a frontal collision. Only 64. 64 is where your car or yourself or whoever would like to try that, which I don't recommend. You have go up to level 5, fifth floor, and then you just drop from there. Will you be safe? Will you think your car can handle that? No, and the car is not. If you have a 5-star NCAP rated 5-star car, 64 would save you. And most likely, as a situation, as I mentioned, you walk out, scold people. Okay, not end up in hospitals, but if you are not careful enough, you go higher than that, the car design will not warrant you that way anymore. So, you just imagine that you drop from 9th floor, which is 80 km/h. You think it's going to happen? Is it okay for you? It's not going to be okay. So I would like to go back a bit on that, just to share. As you can see, the lines go up to 100%, meaning say no chance of survival. What speed would that be? You look at this about pedestrians. About 70 plus km/h. You hit a pedestrian, is it guaranteed killed? No chance to survive. That's what it means there. But you look, that's pedestrian, nothing to help them. But look at the side impact. What sort of speed is that? 100% killed. Right? So that is about, let's get it right, 90 plus. Done. That's it. And the head-on can go a bit higher, but it's not that high. It's a bit about 110 about 110 plus. That's it. That's why when you cross the border, come to Malaysia with very nice highway, please do not speed. Don't go beyond 110 as well. Okay. Now, high speed versus unforgiving road. What happened to here? Collisions happen. The car or the driver with the car want to challenge the tree. And then who wins? The tree. Is it a very big tree there? Not really, right? But we underestimated the strength of the tree. And the tree still sit upright. And then the driver, I think you know what happened. So, happened, hit the lamppost. And it's not really something fun to have, as you can see there. So, another important thing is that if you choose to ride a motorbike in a foreign country as well, very, very, very simple and very, very important, please wear a helmet and wear properly. Wear the right helmet, wear properly. So this is our first crash with, this is our first crash with motorcycles. Of course, we try to look into the jacket filled with air. Of course, we call it airbag jacket if you want to call it. And then also the wearing of helmet. As you can see, this is come with proper helmet wearing. Of course, you can see it gets stuck. You got hit over the lower part of the body or the lower abdomen. Oops. Okay. This is with helmet wearing but not wearing properly. So what can you see? Helmet just easily just gone off the head, and then the head is still hitting the hardest part of the car. So it's always very important to wear a helmet. Yes, you won't get a fine by wearing it, but if you're not wearing properly, it's as if not wearing. So the safety impact of it is basically like not wearing. So please make sure that you wear it properly. So our head is not going to be good for the speed that a bike will be usually riding with by yourself or by other people. And when you hit something, that impact is not our skull can handle. And we never, for those biologically, we never design our body to withstand that sort of impact. So I think we can, okay. So the other thing is that it's also very important for us to note whether you are driving a car behind or you are riding a bike like those. It's very easy to see that if you are just based on the light of the motorbike, the rear lamp, that's what I can see. And then even the helmet with some retroreflective kind of material to have it, also very bad. But if good, if you can, whenever you have a chance or the need to ride a bike, of course, if you don't have the need, don't expose yourself to that, then you must have a very good clothing. For example, here is a retroreflective safety clothing or safety vest. So that makes a big difference. Now, all about human, we know we have limits, and then can anything else to help us out? Of course, vehicle is there, vehicle technology is there to help. But do we know that, or this is probably a myth as well, people will say, oh, expensive cars must be better in terms of safety of other vehicles. The answer is not necessarily the case. And a lot of people say, oh, whatever good names with a big so-called dollar sign behind it, always safest. Answer is also no. The first 5-star car in the world crash tested in Europe, what brand would that be? First 5-star in the world. Of course, now we have a lot more 5-star cars. It is not Porsche. It's not Mercedes-Benz. It's not even Volvo. It's Laguna. How about that? The French cars. Okay? So, of course, they are very proud, of course, with the advancement of technology and then getting a lot more this knowledge and the need to come in. We have a lot more 5-star cars. Later I'm going to show it. So the luxury car is not necessarily the case. And then, let's play this video. This is a BM 3 Series. A Beamers 3 Series. You can get, of course, now is a new facelift, not facelift, a new model coming out already. So I used to drive this car, but not this car crash, but I found out after the result is only 4 stars. So it's not even 5-star, but it's good enough, but not the safest possible that we can have. So this is, I'm not saying all the BMWs not as 5-star, but they're just this model. Okay. So whenever you have a chance buying a car or renting a car, if you can, please choose the safest possible. Of course, sometimes you budget is limitations is one, but whenever you have a choice to choose, because when you rent a car, you have a choice to choose, right? So, or even demand. If you can, choose the safest possible, and then there are a lot of rating that you can make use of, and cap rating is one. If you come over to Malaysia and you rent a car, then you can always choose based on the ASEAN and cap. Of course, in ASEAN, you can make use of that rating. But of course, if you go to Europe, go to Japan, then they have their own safety rating. You can work on it accordingly. But as you can see from here, it doesn't mean you have to be a very luxurious car that to have 5-star. So the Poodor car is there. Okay? So it doesn't mean all the big brands always come with 5-star, not necessarily as well. So it's to be wise, since you're going to spend the money, spend it wisely for safety of everybody's lives. Insurance is there to cover if anything bad happens, but when we lost a leg, we lost a leg. We lost a life, we lost a life, no matter how much insurance can cover. And that's not something that we want. So this is the more recent one, the Toyota Vios, 5-star. And the good thing about the NCAP rating is that you can have, if you want to know a lot more details, please go. There are a lot more there, where your body is likely to get some mild injury or even some light injury, or which part of the body will have higher risk as compared to others. For example, this case, it is the passenger, as you can see over the left side, that with the dummy display. So the passenger, not the driver, chest is higher risk than the rest of the body, as you can see there. Okay. So for the driver, I think that's for the side impact that you have higher risk then. So Now, we try to work out a lot of things, and including a motorcycle. Of course, ABS is one, but we try to look into how about motorcycle with airbags. So whether it works or not, this is together working with Autolift. So the airbag deployed. So what do you think? After have a look, whether it works or not? Okay, answer is at this stage we are still trying to fine tune and try to find out how can it improve it better. The airbag is supposed to have to change the trajectory of the rider so that these guys or riders will not end up get jammed and then hit with the neck with the hardest part of the body and not the head as well. So hopefully that would work, but unfortunately you still need a lot of work to carry out. So this to show that there are improvements, there are issues that we are facing of vehicle. We will try that. Next is about the road, a quick one. Road is always very important. Whenever we go, for example, come to Malaysia, if you have a chance to plan your trip, please choose a safer or the safest possible route according to your trip, how you're going to work it out. So this mapping, we have the IRAP is one, but we also having working out for Malaysia. MIROS is there, available information. You just need to download it. But if you say, so difficult, so technical, I do not know, I do not want to know as well. So what can you do? In general, this is what's happening. If you need to travel in Malaysia, our toll route or express route, of course, you have to pay toll. In general, is 3-star throughout the network and above. They got 4 and 5, but you won't get, you have only a small stretch that lower than 3-star. Most of it will be 3-star. So please use that. So the UN's, what they call the UN directive, also called the target that we set for 2030, 75% of our travel should be 3-star. And then if you come to Malaysia, if you use mainly the highway, then you are safe in a way because they are 3-star and above. And then when we talk about federal road, we mean to say the old road, sometimes we refer as Malaysian, probably Singaporean would know that. So some of that has been upgraded, but we still have a lot of those interstate roads of the federal road, we call that. They are not as safe, and it mostly will be only 2 stars. But we do have 3-star and above, but just that a lot of those still like this at the middle. And especially for those who like to drive up the Genting, for example, or Cameron Highland, some of the road, we all have to agree that geometrically the road cannot be done with a very straight, flat, and unfortunately you can't. Then you have to have winding road. And then some of the road that we have only 20 km/h to be the safe speed. And a lot of people don't care about it. And then that becomes very dangerous stretch. Just for sharing. You know, there are a lot of customers complain to Genting. They said, my car get damaged, because you put so many humps there. They care about their car more than their life. The road design is only for 20. The humps is there to make sure that you drive with 20. If you don't drive 20, the first thing to damage is your car, not your life. But unfortunately, they have complaints about that. They want to go higher speed and they don't care about their life, but they care about their cars and their motorbikes as well. So let's have a look. Over here, what happened here? Very nice road, highway. Where is the hazard? So we have something missing out about the end treatment of the barrier on the roadside, the left and the right as well. The end treatment is not properly done, or so-called we can do better. It's properly done in a way, but can we do better? Because the speed is going to be high, 110, and that is not suitable to have an impact in incoming vehicle with 110. They will most likely going to penetrate into the car and get somebody killed, but instead of saving your life. Next, about this. This is a more urban highway. So what do you think? What's the problem here? The barrier is there, concrete barrier, 3 lanes, shoulder is there, that the tree is along the road. As we know, we don't look down upon the trees. They are very strong. And our car is not designed to hit the tree and save our life. Okay, respect the nature. How about this? This is a typical federal road. There's a pedestrian cross. You see all the pillars there? So the tree is strong, the pillar is also strong. If you end up high speed hitting it, we're going to get ourselves into trouble. And then of course next to the road they're planting trees as well. In future they may end up also something interesting and hazards for us. But more important thing at the median, this is not a barrier supposed to be. It's just imagine that whatever we want to make single carriage to dual carriage by putting something physically in between at the middle of the road there, is to stop you from crossing to the other side, having head on. But do you think that will work? In fact, no. I think it will promote you from flying over. Okay, so unfortunately, some of the design, they are not following our national guide because the local, especially like local roads, I think this is probably the local roads as well. So they are able to choose their contractor and they can decide to approve the road and whether it follows the national, we call the technical directive for the road constructions, is still a question mark there. So we are still working on that. But unfortunately, the local authorities would like to remain their power and deciding what will be their road. So now, please be careful. This again, if you drive to Malaysia, especially in the urban setup, this is something that you're going to end up maybe during the rush hour or even not necessarily rush hour. So what will be the hazards there? Very important, the motorbike. Look at it carefully, the motorbike. And then you see how people changing lane as well, the car. So to us, we have a lot of situations whereby the bike will be in between the fast lane and the middle lane. A lot of bikes will use that. So if you're not careful enough and you don't expect that to come in and they did come, and then that will be usually something not good that we would like to end up with. Okay, last but not least, if you drive in Malaysia, you have this so-called guideline. If you break down on highway, please follow that. Don't try to be somebody that you, or what you call, try to be doctors by yourself and prescribe your own medicines. Same thing happened there. A lot of people will say that I can see you, you must see me. Okay, when I have a breakdown, I come out from my car, I can see the car, you are coming incoming, and then you expect the driver or whoever there will able to see you. Not necessary. So this is something that we'd like to share. This is what happened? to the tips here. So now, big question is asked. We understand all of us, or most of us on the road, we don't want to kill people, we don't want to get ourselves killed. Am I right? Am I right? Most of us, I think 99.99%, we do have some psycho people want to do something strange. Okay, one. Okay, that's very, very rare. But most of us, we don't want. But what happened to those? Because we are all human. You know why? Why end up things like that happens? Right? Even though in Malaysia, sometimes we have a lorry, breakdown lorry, on the emergency lane, we should have a car get and just bang on it. Why? Why? You may say, oh, he's not focused, he's fatigued, he's whatever. There could be a bit of reason of that, but we are just human. Why? Because if we travel today, say for example the journey, if you use a road, do you expect every car or most of the car will have breakdown on the road and stop there for you to avoid? Do you expect that? And how frequent you have that experience? You just recall back. Your last trip that having a breakdown in front of you, when? When was it? When was it? It's not going to be every day. It's not going to be every week. It's not even every month. Am I right? You might not even able to recall when was it. So whenever you drive, you will not expect that to come up. Am I right? You will expect this in front is moving and you're following. But our eye is not being designed to have to handle that speed. Especially they are static, you are coming with 110, for example in Malaysia highway. That speed, our eye is never designed for that. You can't blame your eye. No matter how much you train also, of course, you don't train something for it happens once in a year or two. Right? So now, what's going to happen? You expect that it's moving, but not. And then when that size of the vehicle getting bigger and bigger, suddenly you find something not right, you start to react, and most of the time it's too late. Because you're high speed, and then your reaction time plus your vehicle may not able to work as you wish, and then bang, and bad things happen. So, very important for us to know, if you have a breakdown, please try your best to be away from the highway. You call somebody to come in to settle your car is one, yourself. Best is that move, as we mentioned there. If you can, you go behind the barrier. The barrier is designed to have or resist, absorb the impact, but go behind and significantly behind. Don't sit on that barrier. Okay? The barrier is there to help out. But unfortunately, a lot of people don't use it, and even some people use it wrongly. So now, that's very important. But call people to come in, and then the emergency triangle, don't just place it next to your car. It won't work. The requirement is for you to place about 40 over meters away. If they used yard before, it's like 45 meters away. How to know 45 meters? It's between lamppost and lamppost on highway is 40 meters. So at least from one lamppost to one lamppost distance. Why want to put it that far? You couldn't put it there. If somebody still miss it, you got to hit it. Once you hit it, you hit something, they would able to react. And then that will save your life and save your vehicle also. Okay? So, thank you very much. I think that's, last but not least, there are serious offense in Malaysia. Drink and drive now has changed, so please don't drink and drive. And very important, as if you end up causing somebody injured, you may have to have mandatory imprisonment. Mandatory, 7 years. It's not up to 7 years, it's mandatory 7 years. So if you cause somebody die, even worse, it's a manslaughter, it's minimum of 10 years. That is where that has been changed for the recent so-called amendment to the law. Of course, if it's have reckless driving and cost somebody's life, it's 5 to 10 years, minimum 5. Okay, so very important thing. With whatever I would like to conclude, if you still find I cannot do anything, I don't know what to do, reduce your speed, respect the speed limit. That will save life and will save a lot of so-called the unnecessary risks that you're going to take. Thank you very much.